Second thing, what is the features of the JavaScript? What is the features? So we have talked about how DOM, how the JavaScript is accessing the DOM and modifying it, right? So what is the features? Features. These are all the very important features. JavaScript is a lightweight. It is a lightweight framework. So you can see what is the lightweight. The lightweight. Many people talk about the lightweight, but lightweight is the one is like, see, it is to run the JavaScript. Let's say for example, when you write the code, right? So you need some implicit in this particular in the JavaScript environment, you need some implicit jars to support or to write the Java, to write the code, or to run the code, or to compile the code. You need some underlying jars, underlying framework, or underlying jars. Okay, the weight of that particular JavaScript is very less. The weight of that particular underlying jars are very less. Okay, it is just a .js files. It's very less. Okay, so that's what it is a lightweight. So because why it is very less means because JavaScript is not when it is developed, it was not running in the server side, it was running in the browser. So browse in the browser, right? If it has a very heavyweight jars, right? Heavyweight of jars or heavyweight of the code or the memory. If it is the jars, if the weight of the jars are heavy or huge, the memory consumption will be more because JavaScript will have very less memory and less scope to load all those things. Correct. So that's what. If it is lightweight, then JavaScript can load everything, and Java. If it is lightweight, it's easy for the JavaScript to load them and compile and execute them. That's what it is, the lightweight. And what is interpreted? So JavaScript is an interpreted language. Means just in time. There is a one thing called just in time compiler. There is a compilation also. It's not only interpreter, and there is a compiler also. It's a compiled just in compiled programming language. Means the compilation during the execution of the program at runtime. When you run, right, that time it will be execute. It will be compiled and interpreted and executed it. But when you come to the other technologies, right, in Java, C or C++, right? So when you write the program, you just compile it first. Once it is compiled, it is the intermediary code, that is bytecode is getting generated. Then the bytecode is given to the JVM, and JVM will or JVM or engine or whatever the runtime environment. So that will understand and convert into a machine language and execute it. But here it is not the case. When you make a request, right, that time it will be that time it will be compiled, interpreted, and executed. Okay, there is no pre-compilation here. But when you come to the Java, it's a pre-compiled. Once you write the code and execute that, right, bytecode is generated, and bytecode can be used anywhere, and you can run that. Source code is not required every time, but here it is required. Okay, so and then it is a first class function. First class function. It is new feature actually introduced in the JavaScript. You don't see that in the other technologies like C, C++, or Java. Okay, though JavaScript is a JavaScript is coming from the C family. Okay, it is a part of C family. Okay, but this is a new function which is introduced in the JavaScript. This is the what is this first class function is the function can be treated as any other variable. Let's say for example var x equal to 10. Okay, or var s equal to hello. So likewise, see, variable is assigned to a some some name hello is assigned to a some variable. Likewise, the function can be assigned to some variable. Correct. So functions can be assigned to some variable. This is a new feature. Okay, if someone is working on some technologies like Java, C, Hash, or C++ or something, right? So they might not know of this particular function because this is a new function which is introduced. When you come to the Java and all, right? So you cannot add a function. You cannot add a function to a variable. Okay, the function or method is defined. Function or the method is defined, but that method can be called from the class from the object reference or from the class if it is a static. Okay. But here it is variable itself can be no, function can be assigned to a variable. Now variable can access a function. the same function can be passed to a other method as an argument, but it's not in other technologies like C, C++ is what the example we have taken. Okay, so that's not possible, but it is possible in the Java. Please remember this. Okay, and this is the one feature we can see in the functional programming. Okay, and then so we already discussed this point, right? So scripting language for web pages and for other non. This is scripting language. JavaScript is a scripting language which is used for web pages and for other non-browser environments also. JavaScript can be using in the non-other environments, as we already discussed Node.js as well. In the future slides, we'll discuss that also. Okay, what are the non-browser environments it is available? One thing is browser environment is for the web pages, and what is the non-browser environment? That is Node.js, and I will discuss that. I give you the list of those things. And single-threaded, this is very important when you come to the other technology, Java and all, right? So it has a multi-threaded. When you make a request, for each and every request, one particular thread is getting created, and it will serve that. That particular thread will serve that request till it gives a response back to the user. But um, JavaScript is not that. JavaScript is single threaded. There is only one thread is serving all the requests. Is serving all the requests. There is something called event driven methodology, so that uses that. But yes, it has a single thread. So because it has the advantages and disadvantages both. So single thread has advantages in some applications based on the applications. Okay. So what is the advantages and disadvantages we'll discuss about, because Java is a multi-threaded, right? So multi-thread environment has a very good advantages for some requirements or some projects to implement, some problems to solve. But when you come to the JavaScript, right, it is single thread is has some advantages for some problems to solve, and some other problems it has a problems. It has a disadvantages. We'll see the pros and cons in the later sections. And again, JavaScript. See, JavaScript is the one scripting language, but it has a standards. The standards of the JavaScript are described in the ECMAScript. ECMAScript is a international, so that we'll discuss that. ECMAScript International is an organization, so that will be discussed.